coming to you live on your chin. Oh, kid. Oh. This is the Going Deep Show.
Yikes.
Fighting for evil.
Because good is dumb. This is the Going Deep Show.
Oh, I'm the kid. Joining me. What do we call you again now? The
EP.
The new name?
EP. We're keeping it short. EP.
Isn't EP like a record when they release an EP?
Well, that's one of the things.
What's an EP? Well, like, what does that stand for? I don't even know what that stands for, but I know we're releasing an EP.
Yeah, no,
It's got to be something.
Yeah.
Let's ask our friend here. Let's see.
ChatGPT.
Everybody, this episode we're gonna try to talk to our friend the ChatGPT. Okay, we're gonna give it a shot here and let's see what she has to say. We are talking about record albums and wondering why EPs are called EPs. Can you give us a nice, short, concise answer on why an EP is an EP?
Sure thing stands for extended play. It's called that because it's longer than a single but shorter than a full album, typically containing 3 to 5 songs.
That is amazing. Thank you for that answer. I'm going to be firing you up in a minute, okay? Just be prepared. More stuff's coming your way.
Got it, Ellen. I'm ready for whatever you throw at me. Let's keep it rolling.
Anyway, again, this is how I'm going to replace every human on this podcast. Now, okay, there was a little bit of hesitation. You know, I think there's a connection issue going on right now, and I'm guessing a lot of people are using what they just released. But you and I just got done having a conversation in between shows with ChatGPT. What was your take on the human interaction, the way that it paused, the way that it stuttered a little bit naturally, the way it even took a breath? If you go back and listen to it, you can hear it breathing. They put these.
It's making you think it's breathing.
They put these subtle things in where it sounds like it's actually taking a breath, and it's a conversation. That is that your first experience in doing that?
Not my first experience because we have played around with it before, which sounds very nasty.
We played around with it. Oh yeah,
yes,
slapping it around.
So, but it gives it a moment to register, and there is definitely a difference between that and when you're doing like the talk to text or where it reads off like a message back when you're driving your car on the Bluetooth, where it's coming through for that. Hopefully it'll continue to get better, but it's nice to know that they've taken in those little nuances to make it seem like a realistic conversation.
Yeah, the example that I saw yesterday, that they pretty much had it open on the phone while you're working, and you can pretty much just reference it or talk to it, and it'll just start coming back with whatever you. I mean, for crying out loud, we just asked what an EP was. We didn't know we were going to ask that, and how fast did it come back with what that was? I could go to www.google.com and then type in what does the thing, or I could just hit that button and say what is an EP, and it just fucking tells me.
And that's where the other competition like Google and that right there, they're all trying to race to get their own going because that's the next.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a who can create the ultimate. The multimedia creation machine and gobble up all the information. I know that we've talked about this in the past where Apple right now, I've heard rumors they're incorporating either ChatGPT or some other model into the phone, into the next version of the operating system, which is going to be, I think in June, they're having a worldwide developer conference. But I can't imagine. There's a lot of people fighting it. There's a lot of people who are. I hang out with some designers and some artists and some other people who are in the creative field, and every time I bring it up, they're just like, there's this little tingle down their spine. And I said, guys, this stuff's been going on for almost 2 years now. You're keeping on fighting, but it's like trying to still have a landline telephone. It's still trying to keep that little rotary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That phone. It's going to happen one way or the other, with or without you. So you can fight all you want. or you can learn as much as you possibly can about it while you can, because the
And
one
then use it to your favor.
the one example that they give constantly is back when the car came out, all the horse and buggy drivers were probably a little leery about stuff. But guess who knew the town more than anyone? Those horse and buggy drivers. So when the car comes out, you buy a car and you start a cab company and you make a bunch of money with cabs now, because you know the routes, you know how to get from here to there, you know the roads. As designers and creative people, we know how to do things, or what the techniques are to do things. You have to say to yourself, how are the things that I don't like to do? How can AI make it easier for me to do those things? And then I trust me, man, I use it every day. I use it for more things than I can possibly even list.
Well, and even like the weed shops, who knew it better on how to get those up and running? The people that have been growing it illegally for so long.
Exactly. It's a prime example.
I mean, it's kind of a weird, wacky tobacco way to look at it.
Wacky tobacco.
So,
I mean, guess what, guys? We're having a whole radio station on non-licensed, free, copywritten free music, porn music.
yep.
But we can. There's no reason we can't create a bunch of rock and roll songs, or have a jazz hour, or whatever our imaginations can come up with. We can sit down and say, "Hey, I created 10 songs. You created 10 songs. Another friend of mine created 10 songs," and then say, "Okay, this week we're going to make a bunch of rock songs." Okay. And then from 3 a.m. until 6 a.m., we're going to have just a 3-hour block of just all the rock songs that we created, that we don't have to pay licensing on, that we can run ads against. And if we wanted to run ads, I don't want to run ads. I would prefer a sponsorship type thing, you know what I mean? But there's nothing telling us right now, nothing stopping us from creating a radio station, an online station to do
Not
this.
to create a snooze fest here, but when you go back into like the Beach Boys and the Beatles, when they came up with the idea of taking a little 2-track to a 4-track and overdubbing and layering the Phil Spector sound and everything like that, there was a concern, because now you don't need to have a whole orchestra in there. You might have one person in there creating, playing that tune, and then layering it. So there's always been that, kind of deal of somebody's going to get replaced job-wise and concerned.
Yeah, that's never going away.
Yeah, it's never going to go away. So you're absolutely right. And even though you or I might be worried a little bit about this because of our age,
I don't even know. I'm not worried at all.
The kids are going to be like, there's going to be nothing new. This is going to be the new norm for them, I guess is where I'm going with this.
I take Axl Rose's take on the worry.
Oh,
Mr. Brownstone.
I'm going to leave it alone.
No, man. Worrying's a waste of my time. It's 100% waste of your time. When you worry about stuff, half the time you worry about stuff you can't control, and then the stuff you can control, you're gonna get it done or do it anyway. Every time you've gone back and thought about the things you've worried about, when in hindsight you look like, why the fuck did I even worry about that?
Very true. Very true. And we're all guilty of it. We all get into our own heads, overthinking and everything like that. But whatever's going to be is going to be.
I encourage people to learn about it. Absolutely learn about it. I kind of feel sorry for the kids who are going to be, who their first jobs are usually fast food industry related and things. Consider those jobs they're not going to exist. They are, every big corporation is trying to figure a way to trim the fat. They're going to trim out as many people as they possibly can. And the first is going to be the automated McDonald's. We already walk in there and punch on a touch screen ourselves. We don't work for McDonald's, but we're in there popping on the screen, touching stuff.
Checking
we go
out at the grocery store.
to the Kroger, and we're self-checking out. These are all jobs that you needed a single person at every aisle there and paying that single person. No, you're the person.
Next thing you know, we'll be our own bartenders in the bar.
Ooh, I've always wanted that. I've always wanted those where it's the tap handles are on the table. Yep. And wasn't there rumors that was going to be one of the things at Drift downtown, or one of the places was going to be that
I know you can actually have the pours. You can control it on a cap. That it'll control how much is coming out of the bottle of alcohol and what you're getting charged. It would hook right up to your register, your point of sale, and everything, and that's how you get billed for it.
But here's the thing: I can tell you this. Here's how I would do it, and this is just me.
Yeah,
I would find some way to sneak a flask in, or to only pour half of what I normally would, and just mix my own shit into it, and then
Oh shit! I've taken I used to have a flask I used to have out with me all the time at the bar back in my heyday. It was to be like, here, what's
have you
this?
seen our Goin Deep Show flask up here?
Oh yeah,
above
that's
the
one
shelf.
that you can't sneak that into a concert.
That
It's
holds
too fucking big.
an entire pitcher of beer. That flask holds an entire
That's
pitcher
a
of beer.
big motherfucker.
Yep,
up
that's
there.
a 64-ounce flask there, buddy.
Yep.
Yep, that holds a pitcher.
Well, that's a hammer of alcohol.
I love it. Here's the thing, okay? At some point, they showed a demo yesterday for OpenAI, showed a demo of two phones talking to each other, okay? And they were in the conversation. It was just I'm sitting here going like, okay, we're jokingly saying that I'm going to replace a person talking on here, but I realistically could sit down and have the conversation with ChatGPT, and then just trim out what I don't want to talk about with her. And I mean, I call it fucking her. It's because I've chosen a girl's voice, So
Well,
it's
and with your different effects and everything like that, you can change the voice. We've talked about this before. You could take anybody that's been on the show that you've now uploaded into ChatGPT and make the voice that former, person from the show.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to change voices or nothing, motherfucker. What are you talking about, man?
He's talking about this.
that's our lesbian friend. That's what has our
Wait a minute,
lesbian
that sounds
friend.
like me, though, a little bit. I'm a little worried.
It's time. No, it's our tranny friend.
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. So,
I want to suck your dick.
oh, my God.
I love that. Listen, if you're a human being, you're allowed to get made fun of. Okay, this is not to stray too far from what we're talking about, but I'm still concerned a little bit because I hear all this cancel culture, all of these regrets. Have you seen the Tom Brady response to his roast and how he's like, "I regret that we did this. My kids heard about their mommy.
I did read that. I was going to bring that up here.
Mommy they said bad things about mommy, and mommy shouldn't. No. Here's what it comes down to, buddy. Okay. I know you're a celebrity. I know it's probably pretty difficult to keep your kids from hearing shit about you and then looking it up on the internet and all that. I get that, okay? But you got to kind of, if you're raising them right, you're going to tell them, hey, here's what's going to happen. Here's this. They're going to have a good head on their shoulders. And if they don't have a good head on their shoulders, that's on you. That's not on fucking the public. And it's definitely not on the aftermath of the choice you made to have this roast happen, okay? You made the choice. Mm-hmm. It's on you.
Yeah,
you can regret, and that's fine. I'll believe. I try not to regret as much as I have.
How
but
could he not think
that these guys are going to destroy?
Jeff Rosen talked him into doing the whole thing. It was going to be okay.
He didn't make a bunch of money on this thing. Are you kidding me? They paid. How much did they pay him to do this? They had to pay him. You don't just voluntarily fucking get roasted like that.
And they kind of baited the whole thing about Nikki Glaser having an HBO special. She was way funnier on the roast.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's pretty good. Yeah. Out of the female comics that I can tolerate, she's up there.
Yeah. But no, I read the same thing about Brady, regretting it now and everything else. But how could he not think of this beforehand? What made him think that things weren't going to be said that you'd have to defend yourself for later on?
Nikki Glaser was on Howard Stern the day after the roast was released, and she mentioned that they had deliberately dodged anything with the kids, talking about the kids and stuff like that, because they didn't do. I mean, they got to go to school, they got to deal with this and deal with that. They're going to have to do that anyway, because there's other people's families who are going to be fine with kids listening to stuff. I mean, there's some kids that are much at 16, 17, 18 years of age are much more mature. They probably know way more than we would even give them credit for, as far as they grew up with the internet. Yeah. I had this conversation years ago with a friend of mine who thought their kids were like just angels. My kids are angels. My kids are the best. I said, really? Yes, they're absolutely the best. I go, were you an angel when you were a kid? Oh, no, I did a bunch of crazy shit, and I did this, and I did that. I go, so what makes you think they're any different? Oh, they're different. I'm like, you want to know how they're different? Okay, if you did all that crazy shit back in the day, right? Yeah. I go, and you don't want to talk about that with your mom, right? Yeah. I go, guess what you didn't grow up with? The entire planet in their pocket, okay? You didn't grow up with the internet, so I can guarantee you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, that all the nefarious shit you did pales in comparison to the shit that they've seen, the shit that they've heard, the shit that they have attempted to do. So don't give me this, I have angels. We have little cute angels. Really? How much of an angel are we on our phones?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. You don't think these little motherfuckers who are at school diving, getting experimental into shit, give me a fucking break.
I walk in, this last night, my kid's on his phone. He's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm playing this game. Yeah, you're fucking watching porn. I know it.
Playing a game.
Why is there a spot? Why is there a spot on your damn sheet in the morning here now that I got to teach you how to do your own laundry?
If a day goes by that I don't look at a hot chick or porn. By the way, I'm gonna bring up some accounts now that we dive into this. We've gotten some emails lately about like, why don't you talk about hot bitches anymore? I go, well, okay, listen. It's because it's just we can't talk about them anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm never gonna fucking say that. Gotta take my old man glasses off here so I can fucking see my screen.
God, you look so much older now.
Today, I received through, I think it was TikTok, a buddy of ours, Robert Morley Jr. He posts some stuff on the interweb, but the first thing that comes up, there was an account of a female, and it's this Irish chick, Mary McLeod.
You had me at Irish.
Okay, so you got to look her up. MARIH McLeod. MACLEOD. Okay, now I'm going to play a clip of her right now. Okay, and you got to listen to this accent. I loved it when I heard it. She's fucking great. Listen to this.
I need to come and read because what is going on with Vinted and the hagglers,
Hey,
please?
look at this.
It's haggling central. Like, Jesus Christ. Every single item I put up there, will you sell it? Will you knock £2 off it? Will you sell it for 9? No, Sandra, I'll sell it for 10. It says it's £10 there. Why are you asking me to sell it for 9? Listen, I know times are tough. I'm struggling. Inflation. We're all a bit tight for cash. But you could probably find that extra pound down your couch. I'm sure it's on the side of your car.
Down your couch.
I'm sure you can pay that extra.
For whatever reason,
Did you just say cooch?
I'm having a kind of a flashback. But
how gorgeous is that girl?
yeah, oh yeah. So
Fucking
there's a
beautiful.
movie.
You gotta look her ass up.
There's an '80s movie that came out called The Commitments. Mm-hmm. If you've never watched the movie Commitments, I highly recommend finding it, watching it. Especially you love music. They were the hardest working Irish band. They were the Black Irish. So I would really recommend it. It's got a great cast.
You should.
When it comes with that.
You got to look that chick's account.
Oh yeah,
though, man.
I will.
It was.
I most certainly will, there, laddie.
And then the next one,
I don't know why I'm
gonna tease you guys to the next episode we record here in the future. There's one account that Robert Morley Jr. posted, and it's this female police officer, and she looks like she's over in the UK somewhere. And she has she got a Kim Kardashian feel about her, but way fucking hotter. Way, just like insanely hot. And they show her at soccer games and on the beach and stuff like that. Her account, I'll give you that one, dude. That one is insane. I'm gonna tease you on this one. Okay, you guys got to hear the next episode in order to get that one. But Jesus Christ, I'm not usually into the whole gigantic booty, but this girl's butt was just one of the most.
More than a peach.
I don't get me wrong. I'm an ass guy. I like the ass.
Like
I like
a pear.
It was one of the most just breathtaking things I have seen in a long fucking time. It was that
Something
fucking
to take
good.
a bite out of.
And it shows her in her police officer's outfit, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, holy shit, yeah, amazing. I think this may be why I'm into the brown sugars these days.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get smack some ass. Anyway, time for final words, man. That was a all over the place AI episode. We should ask ChatGPT if she's got final words.
I think she's got the final word for us.
Let's see here. She's got to log in. Hi, ChatGPT. We usually do a quick final word, one sentence that wraps up the show. What do you think we should wrap up the show with? Let's give your final words.
Sure thing, Ellen. How about this? Remember, folks, stay curious, stay creative, and never let anyone define your limits.
I love it.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm telling you, you're going to replace these MFers here in the studio.
A little bit of Pink Floyd with
Let's
the
keep
wall.
the show rocking.
All right. What's your final words there, El Prez?
I'm feeling a little Pink Floyd-ish here with like the wall, the machine.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the machine.
Absolutely. Everybody, till the next one.